The horizon shimmered under the noon sun, waves flashing silver like scattered coins. The sea was calm, almost a calm, the kind of calm that makes sailors uneasy. Far ahead, a rocky island lay under a strange haze, the air above it rippling as if the heat of a summer desert had spilled across the water. A faint sound drifted toward the ship, so faint that at first you might think it was the wind, but there was no wind. The oars dipped into the water, slow and steady, splash, pull, and then slower still, as if every stroke weighed heavier than the last. Can you feel it? That strange pressure in the air, that sense that something beautiful and dangerous is drawing closer. In our last story, we watched the terror of Scylla, the many-headed shadow that snatched sailors from their decks and dragged them screaming into the deep. But, did you know, before Odysseus faced that nightmare he encountered another. A threat with no teeth, no claws, but a weapon that could steal your mind and make you give yourself willingly to the sea. The Sirens. In Greek myth, the Sirens were not always monsters. Once, they were the handmaidens of Persephone, the radiant daughter of Demeter. When Hades stole Persephone away to the underworld, the Sirens searched every shore, every wave, but found nothing. Demeter, in her grief and fury, transformed them, giving them the bodies of birds, or in some tales the shimmering tails of fish, but always the faces and voices of impossibly beautiful women. And with that transformation came a gift and a curse, a voice, a song, one so pure and alluring that even the gods might pause to listen. Imagine it, hair flowing in the sea breeze, eyes that hold the depth of the ocean itself, wings or scales catching the sunlight like molten gold. And when they open their mouths, the sound is not just music, it is memory, it is every longing you've ever had, every dream you've ever dared to dream, woven into notes that slip beneath your skin. If it were you, and that sound reached your ears, would you resist, or would you close your eyes and let it carry you wherever it wanted? On his long voyage home to Ithaca, Odysseus received a warning from the sorceress Circe. No man, she said, has ever heard the Sirens' song and lived, unless he could neither move toward them nor hear them at all. So Odysseus devised a plan. He ordered his crew to carve wax from their stores of honeycomb and press it into their ears until no sound could pass. As for himself, he refused to be deaf. He wanted to hear the song, to know it, and still live to tell of it. So he commanded his men to lash him to the mast, hands and feet bound tight. And no matter what he might say, no matter how he might plead, they were not to release him. The sea grew quieter as they neared the island. The air grew warmer, heavier, as though invisible hands were pressing down on the deck. The smell of salt faded, replaced by something sweet, intoxicating, like blossoms blooming in the heart of summer. Then the first note came. It was soft, a single thread of sound drifting over the water. Then another, weaving into it, and another, until it was not a song, but a spell. They sang of homecoming, of lovers waiting on distant shores, of secrets only the gods knew, and glory that would outlive the stars. Every word, every note, promised that all could be his, if only he would come closer. Odysseus' heart pounded. He strained against the ropes, his voice rising above the song, begging his men to set him free. He promised them gold, swore he would steer them to safe harbor, cursed them for refusing. But the crew rowed on, deaf to his pleas, deaf to the Sirens' call. The Sirens' eyes locked on Odysseus. They leaned forward from their rocks, hair tumbling like rivers of fire, voices rising, sharper now, urgent, wrapping around his mind like silk threads pulling tight. And still, the oars rose and fell. The ship cut through the water. The island began to drift behind them. Do you think, if you had been in his place, you could have stayed bound, or would you have broken free, leapt into the sea, and swum toward that voice? The song faltered. The Sirens' smiles faded into something cold, and then they were gone. The wind returned. Waves lapped against the hull. Odysseus sagged against the mast, sweat cooling on his skin, the taste of salt and something sweeter still lingering in his mouth. His men pulled the wax from their ears, puzzled, unaware of how close they had come to death. And in that silence, Odysseus understood not every danger comes with a weapon in hand. Some only need a voice, and the patience to wait for you to listen. The Sirens are more than monsters in a tale. They are a warning that the most dangerous traps are the ones we want to walk into, and perhaps we all have our own siren song, something that whispers to us, promising joy, glory, or love, at the cost of everything else. So tell me, what would your siren song be? And if it called you, would you answer? If this story sent a shiver down your spine, remember, there are countless other creatures, from the dawn of myth to the edges of our modern world, waiting to be found. Don't miss them. Like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and follow the channel, because our voyage is far from over. After all, the sea is vast, and some voices carry farther than you think.